Well, hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So let's just, begin with some cricket news here. The India men's cricket team who comfortably sealed a win over Bangladesh in the opening T20I in Gwalior. Well, they are going to eye an unassailable 2-0 lead now as the two teams are going to face off at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in the second T20I in New Delhi today. That's going to take place this evening at 7 p.m. IST. Well, India had no problem in completing a comfortable win. They restricted Bangladesh to a very less total, and in return they chased the target with more than 7 to 8 overs to spare. Well, it was a brilliant performance by the team. They took a lot of wickets, and at the very same time the batters also made sure that they did not really go into their shell, but instead were focused on getting the job done as soon as possible to make sure that the Indian team, which is actually now full of swag, they are showing it to the world, and at the very same time making sure that they are living up to their tag of the current World T20 champions. So that's about it as far as the India Bangladesh second T20I is concerned. It's going to be a last series for Mohammedullah. Well, he's going to retire from the T20I format after the end of this series, and Bangladesh would look to give him a winning farewell. Well, Bangladesh are currently yet to win a match on this tour. They lost the Test series 2-0, and Bangladesh would look to make sure that they win this T20I and take the series to the decider. Well, shifting to some women's cricket news here. Well, India are going to take on Sri Lanka in their third game of the tournament here. Well, remember, India are in a very difficult position as far as qualifying for the semi-final goes here, because India, they lost to New Zealand comprehensively by 58 runs in their opening match of the tournament. Then secondly, they beat Pakistan, returned to winning ways, but then the win wasn't really as comfortable or comprehensive because India needed to beat Pakistan by a big margin so as to make sure that their net run rate improves, but that could not really happen because India, they won by 6 wickets, but they chased a target of 107 with just about 5 to 6 balls to spare, so their net run rate did not really improve. But then what India have been benefited a bit by Australia defeating New Zealand by a big margin here. Currently, India's net run rate is minus 1.217, and New Zealand are currently in the third spot with minus 0.005. So still India behind that, behind New Zealand here, behind White Ferns. But then what India now really need to make sure in their remaining two matches is that they do not just seal those wins, but at the very same time get those wins at a by a good margin so as to make sure that their net run rate improves, it gets into the plus thing, and at the very same time they can stand a chance to qualify for the semi-finals there. So moving to some more cricket news here. Well, Pakistan, England's first test at Multan is currently underway, and in response to Pakistan's huge first innings total of 556, England at the time of beginning of this live were 113 for 2. Well, they have lost the services of Zach Crawley here, who scored a brilliant 50. He just got out. Then Ollie Pope, their stand-in skipper for the first test, because Ben Stokes was injured due to a hamstring injury. Well, Ollie Pope, he couldn't really open his account, and Ben Duckett, who took a blow to his hand in the fielding, is yet to come out to bat. So England currently are 113 for 2. And moving to some more cricket news here. Well, New Zealand have announced their test squad for the upcoming series against India. There are going to be 3 test matches in Bengaluru, Pune and Wankhede. Kane Williamson is going to miss the start of the series, and also there are a few more additions. You can check out the live that I did a few minutes back to know what more changes are there in New Zealand squad. Well, moving to some more cricket news, where the ICC Champions Trophy that's going to take place in Pakistan next year, but there's a chance that there could be a hybrid model if India actually qualify for the final. So there's a chance that the venue for the final may not really be decided until India's final position in the tournament is concerned. Let's say, if India reach the semi-final and they go on to beat any XYZ team, that's where, until the result of that match is known, the venue for the final might not be confirmed, which means that India, if they qualify for the final, they might not play that final in Pakistan. There's a chance that it could be held in Dubai or Sri Lanka. We have done an exhaustive report on that. That exhaustive report is from Telegraph. There is a detailed version of it. You can check out in the live section, as Harshit has done a detailed report on that. Well, let's just see, now what the newspapers have to say. Well, Bansod has stunned the world number 23 Sung here. Well, rising Indian shuttler Malvika Bansod, she has continued an impressive form in 2024, pulling off a stunning upset against world number 23 Sung Shio Yun of Chinese Taipei to advance to the women's singles pre-quarterfinals of the Arctic Open event. Then Alexander Zverev and Novak Djokovic, they have won in Shanghai. Alexander Zverev, he reached the last 16, winning 2 tie breaks, and then Novak Djokovic, he powered through the third round, steamrolling Italian Flavio Cobolli 6-1 and 6-2. And in the Global Chess League, well, Mumbai Masters, they have beaten Pipers 14-5. And if we go through some more tennis news here, in fact, table tennis news here, well, Ahika has assured India a historic Asian podium here. The Indian women's table tennis team, they have assured themselves of a first ever medal at the Asian table tennis championships there, with a stunning 3-2 win over the Paris Olympics bronze medalist South Korea in the quarterfinals in the Kazakh capital. Now they're going to face Japan in the semis. So that's about it as far as the morning wrap's concerned. Do subscribe to Sports Today and stay tuned for all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. We're going to bring you all the coverage of the live action that's going to take place today. India versus Bangladesh, second men's T20I, and the all-important India versus Bangladesh women's T20 World Cup match. Well, remember, if India lose this match, they're going to be all but eliminated from the competition. And if they win, they must make sure that they do it by a big margin. Until then, it's Siddharth Gulati saying goodbye.